Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this call. You are a freshman and you want to know what it looks like to work with me as the college soccer guy, including the cost and exactly what it is I do. And I'm excited to show you all that today. Brief reminder, in the bottom right-hand corner, you can fast forward me so I talk a little bit faster. And then second, I want to apologize. You're going to be receiving some emails that are kind of aggressive, and I just want to profusely apologize. We've had a lot of people no-show, which is not okay. And when they no-show and they waste my time, it's not very nice. But also, they're showing up without mom and dad. And mom and dad must be on the call because you guys are underage. And because even if you are older than that, which in your case you're not, I want to make sure that mom and dad are on the same page as we do this together. So I really ask that the whole family be on the call, or certainly those who want to be there too. Make the decision if we're going to work together. I also don't know if I want to work with you, and so this call is to figure out if we are the right fit. So with that in mind, I want to take you through the agenda for today, if that's okay with all of you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you where you found us. You know, what social media platform did you find me? I want to know who found me first. Maybe it was a team effort, or maybe the athlete found me. Maybe mom and dad, you found me, and I want to know what everybody knows about me so I can answer your questions. I want to be able to say, hey, did you guys watch this video? Because this video will really save us a lot of time, because then I can answer your questions. We only have 15 minutes, so I really want to address your concerns. So I really appreciate your watching this. Then I'm going to ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you're ready to work with me right now, and 1 being you hate me and you don't want to work with me, where do you sit? And you're going to ask me the same question, because I will have seen your video at this point. I will know some about you. This, of course, we don't know everything about each other, which is what this call is for. But the goal here is to see kind of where you guys are right now and what your questions might be. So maybe I can just address your questions right away so I kind of know where you're sitting. And vice versa, you'll ask me kind of the same thing. Then you already know who I am. I want to go over the agenda for today. So are we the right fit to work together? Maybe we are, maybe we're not, and I don't know yet, which is why we're going to have this conversation. Can I make you quit? Because if I can make you quit by scaring you away of all the things you're going to have to do, then we don't have to worry about any of this stuff. I'm going to give you a diagnosis of kind of where I think your level is, and if I can help you achieve it, and maybe you say, you know what, I'm going to quit playing, and that would make our life a lot easier, and mom and dad don't have to do as much driving anymore. And then by the end of today, I'd like to get to answer all your questions, which is then to say, I'm going to ask your daughter some of questions. The first one's going to be, how many phone calls have you had thus far? And have you been on any visits with Division III schools specifically? Division I schools do break the rules. We've had freshmen who have been phone called by Division I schools, which we can talk about with you. But obviously, some of you may think, well, college coaches can't talk to us, and that is not true. Division III schools can talk to you as much as they want, and the top academic ones want to speak to you, and I'm going to jump into why in a minute. Having said that, we have the students I do work with who are freshmen, and we work with a limited amount of students. They are talking to coaches. So this student right here is in 8th grade, so a year younger than you, and they're already talking to Middlebury. They're already texting back and forth. They've already been invited on a visit. They've already gone for a camp. This is what it takes to go to the higher level academic schools, because they are done recruiting earlier. This is also true for any high-level programs, because they have the privilege of, saying we're interested in you, you saying it back, and being committed, which is, of course, exciting, but also scary. So then I'm going to ask you, what is it that you believe your athlete, or you, the athlete, needs the most help with? Why are you talking to me? So I hope you have, some things you want. And you would have already filled out a form about that. I'm going to ask mom and dad the same thing. What is it that you think your athlete needs the most help with? And then I need to know your why. Specifically for the coach, for the student, why do you want to play college soccer? Why is this so important to you? Because if it's not really that important, maybe we're not the right fit to work together, which is then to say to mom and dad, do we all agree that academics come first? And I feel really strongly about this, because if you look me up on Google, and you'll see I played pro soccer for about 10 years, and I was able to do that because of college soccer. So I started in college, and at the Division I level, I was playing JV soccer as a junior in high school. Here's my award when I was playing JV soccer. I was basically the most improved player because I was a junior, so I think it was a pity trophy. But I went on to get a full ride to play Division I, and then I went on to play pro soccer for a number of years. And one of the things I learned was, thank God I have my master's degree. Thank God I have my UEFA license. So that way I know education is so important. So the question is, if we all agree education is the most important, the question then comes to, why do you want to help your son or daughter play college soccer, mom and dad? We could just lock them in a closet and not worry about anything. Why do you want to help them play college soccer? And then after that, I'm going to give you a diagnosis on your situation. This is where I'm going to review your video with you. I'm going to tell you your potential level, figure out if we're the right fit, and I want to theoretically scare you away. So with that in mind, what I want to do is show you what that looks like. So the first thing is I got to go over your video with you to see if in your case, you are the level to play at the levels you want to. I can already kind of tell in most cases. I also separate your video into 2 categories. What will a college coach think of your video, and how good are you? Because I'm going to watch your entire video a few times over, and college coaches won't do that. So we need to make sure they see what I see, but maybe a lot faster. You're going to get this email system. Now, this email system I'm very proud of because it's proprietary to me. It costs me a lot of money, my life savings, and it is very effective. And here's why it's so effective. The first thing is we're going to give you a list of schools that I'm going to give you, which we'll talk about in a minute. In fact, I'll show you that right now, actually. So one of the students here, this is a current student. They are in 8th grade as it happens. What you're going to do is you're going to get a list of schools that I'm going to give you based off of your level, your major, your what regions you want to go to. We'll have a D1 list, a D2, D3 list, and even a specific top academic list. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to create that list of schools for you, and then we're going to tell you what camps to go to. And the way we do that is often by me telling you which camps to go to, or what we're going to tell you what camps to go to, and express, hey, when we say go to this camp, here's why we're saying it. But also, we're going to meet every week. And like in this case, we record every meeting. And this student in 8th, 9th grade was messaging these schools. Now, sometimes there's limitation into what they can respond to, but it does not stop us from messaging them, which is really important because that's how they get to know who we are and the schools we were talking to and who came to our games and all those types of things, which is then to say, we're going to have a list of schools, and we got to email them, and we got to email them a lot. So first thing is we're going to select the schools. I'm just going to select all for now. This is connected to your own Gmail, which is really important. The reason that's so important, this is the exact email I used when I was getting recruited. The reason this is so important is coaches want to hear from your own email account, not from mom and dad's, not from NCSA, not from Sports Recruits or Scouting Zone or Captain U or any of those other ones. They want to hear from you. So that's what makes mine particularly special. So you're going to click write email. You're going to go, dear #coach, #genuine, and then you'll go #school. And it will automatically go to every single coach in the country individually, one email at a time, with the coach's name, something genuine, and the name of the school. So the coaches will feel as if every email is genuine. And some of them, you and I will make more genuine than others because we want those schools to like us even more. Which is then to say, every time you receive an email, the system will automatically populate. Was it a genuine that you received? Was it a generic email? Should we follow up with them? Do we need to text them? Where do we sit with them? That's what we'll be able to tell. And then every time you get invited to a camp, the system will save it and go, this is the camp you were invited to. This is how genuine it was. This is if it was generic. This is when the dates were, so we can keep track of everything. Then, after all of that, it will then have this little robot. And this robot has every single ID camp in your state, every single club team in your state. It has how many seniors and juniors there are on each team, which I'm going to help you with. And it also allows us, so if you look up UCSB, it will know the camp. And you can also copy and paste emails into there and go, is this genuine or generic? And you'll get an immediate response from us because it is an AI robot that I've trained. It's like ChatGPT, but just for college soccer in my voice. So now you've got this really cool email system so we can email schools. We're going to pick the camps. We need to do an audit. See, you've already done some things, so you haven't done. What is going to be our game plan? And club soccer. Do we leverage your team? Is your coach going to help you? Are they not going to help you? We're going to create that list for you. But then at the end of the day, we really, really, really want you to find a coach that you love. When I was playing college soccer, I met my first girlfriend, and it really, she was my first, and it was because of the type of people the college coach was bringing in that I could have the confidence to eventually be the captain when I was a senior, and I even was a captain as a sophomore, and this is me playing college soccer. And I had the best coach ever, who my father had a heart attack when I was in college, and he kind of became my second father figure. And my brother, on the other hand, had a miserable experience. He hated his coach. He didn't play a single minute for 4 years, and he was just miserable to the point where he started abusing himself. And that's when I started getting on this mission of, hey, you know what matters the most? Yes, academics are the most important, but really, if you don't love your coach, you will be miserable. Which is then to say, a lot of you may be going, well, I'm only a freshman. Do I even need to start this process? It sounds kind of crazy. So I want to show you an example just so you can get an idea of what we're up against when it comes to playing college soccer. So if you want to go to a top-level school, this is kind of when the process begins.
What was the recruiting process like for you? When did you start?
I played up a year for a while. I don't think I was necessarily late to the recruiting process, but in hindsight, it's kind of crazy to think about because I committed when I was going into my junior year of high school. Whereas my process started a year or two before that whole time, like before I committed. So, I mean, I was what, like 14, 15 years old, like starting to look for the college. It was just crazy looking back on it.
When did you start the recruiting process?
Basically every time I went to a showcase, I emailed the coach like about 100 times. I committed going into my junior year.
So going into the junior year, now I know you're watching girls soccer players, but this student, who I can go over in a minute, this student, wait for it, this kid right here, he started in his freshman year. Sophomore year, he was committed, and then he was drafted eventually, and he was, of course, a very good soccer player. But he had to start his freshman year in order for this to happen. Now, the reason this is so important is on this call with me, I may say to you, like, why do you think it's important to start freshman year? And if you don't feel it is, then I would say, look, go watch some more of my content, go explore. And I want to show you one more piece here, because what's really important is when you do this process, when you understand that you're not just competing with your teammates, but the country, internationals, transfers, you see that if you want to play college soccer, you have to start as soon as possible. So this story is really great because it explains how she went from college to from her middle school, high school to college. So at 3 years old, she started playing. I'm sure you're the same thing. She watched a soccer game, loved it. And then she was verbally committed to a Division I school at the end of her freshman year. So they knew who she was in 8th and 9th grade, which is exactly what we want for you as well. So having said all of that, this is what I'm going to ask you. Have I managed to scare you away? You know, hopefully you might feel uncomfortable. Maybe you want to quit, in which case I've saved mom and dad a ton of money, and we don't have to worry about any of this stuff, which is then to say, there's other people like me who do this process. And I think it's important that you hear from people other than me about what it looks like to work with like an NCSA or a sports recruit. So I'm going to have you listen to this really quickly.
Yeah,
Yes.
so right now we did the NCSA thing, and it's a bit of a mess. And
It's a waste of everything.
Yeah.
Let's just call it how it is.
Yeah.
Listen, we understand what you charge, and I feel like it's a good investment.
Lack of experience, we connected with NCSA, and everything you've said about NCSA has been absolutely spot on. I feel like I ate that cost, and it's been terrible. One of the biggest things that connected me was your list of which ID camps to go to.
We met Biola and Coach Joey for the first time at one of those mass camps, the Elite College ID camp up in the LA area, LMU, and all this
Yeah,
there.
Elite one's a good one.
And it was really good. We had a good review from I think WashU from St. Louis. Just talked to these guys throughout both days, and they actually talked about NCSA and kind of said like, hey, we don't like to receive emails from those guys. We want to hear from you guys directly. So I think we watched your video. It resonated. It said the same thing we heard from them directly.
It's a bit.
So the reason I want you to see that is, even if you don't work with me, this is kind of my PSA. So even if I just want to help you and help you play college soccer, here's the main difference. When I'm working with students, I will edit unlimited videos. They will edit one video. They will say to you, you can speak to us once a month, and they won't really follow up with you. It is mandatory that you speak with my team and I every single week. And we do that through messaging as well as this. They don't even let you text them. All the emails must come from your own email account. That is really important, as you heard at the end of that call. If it is not working with me, I'm going to refund you. Once you sign with them or anyone like them, you're stuck and you cannot get out of it. And then the biggest thing is the platform. You cannot believe that the platform model is going to do the process for you. So this is their Instagram. These are the types of schools the kids are going to: Wittenberg, Wilmington, Gerber, Milligan, Gloucester. I've never even heard of Gloucester, and this is my full-time job. These are not the types of schools that you probably want to go to reaching out to me as a freshman. We're trying to go to the top level schools, both athletically and academically. So having said all that, I want to know from you and your athlete, is this the type of help you want? Would you like us to help you with your videos? Would you like us to help you with the camps and the emails and the audits and the club soccer and who likes you and creating a list of schools and finding your right coach? Is that what you want? And we want to ask mom and dad, is that what you want? Because if we want to make sure I can help you. Having said all of that, this is what it looks like to work with us price-wise. So the first thing you're going to get is you're going to get a coach plus me. Now your Zoom meetings will be with your coach. You'll be able to message me as much as you want. The reason your Zoom meetings are with your coach and not with me is not because I don't want to. I would love to. But I'm going to be editing all your videos, so I'm going to be busy with that. I have to go to NCAA conferences. You guys probably heard about the roster cuts, the junior college rule. There's a new rule in Division II where you can redshirt even if you play minutes. There's also the MLS Next teams who are going to be joining with GA, as well as the MLS Next 2 teams and how that's going to impact the system. So I am constantly doing research about camps and which coaches need what position, and they reach out to me and I reach out to them. So I'm working for you, but I'm working for you kind of over here, and then your coach is with you every day, but I'm going to be messaging you as well, and you can message me every day as well throughout this process. I want to go through game video review with you. You've got a good highlight video theoretically, but you could probably improve as a player, and since I'm going to be editing all your videos, including full game videos, I can help you get better. You're going to get the Google Drive I showed you and the email system. Now, when I'm working with students, we customize the price. So I know you're like, what is the price? And I'm not trying to hide it from you. I want you to know. So here's one of the things that's important. This student, and you can listen to this later, was a sophomore. By 7th grade, he was going to ID camps. By 10th grade, he had already been to 10 Duke ID camps, and he committed as a sophomore June 17th, the earliest ever commit to Duke. Now, in order for that to happen, you have to start and be a good level at around your age. So in saying that, these are some other college coaches who talk about what it's like to work with me, and these are students, so we can give you their phone number in a minute. But the big thing is we have a couple different options. One option is we do the process literally for you, which is we have our meetings together, but we write all the emails and we press send, and we just reach out to you kind of when we want to talk to you and say, hey, like you have a visit coming up. Hey, you have a camp you should go to. And we just tell you what to do. And the truth is there's not a lot of back and forth with this model. It's we tell you what to do based off the type of goals you have, and we just send all the emails for you. Honestly, with this one, it's really built for students who want us to do everything for them. We have a student in Dubai. You know, this is kind of the model that they want where everything is done for them. I don't know if that's the right fit for you. The other model, which is the one I would probably lean more towards for you, although I need to get to know you, is we do it together. So we still write the emails for you, but you click the button send. When you get responses, we both receive the emails and we both go over them together. In this other model, we just do it for you and we kind of just say, leave everything to us, and of course we'll get your feedback, but not really. We just do it our way, which we of course believe is successful. But with this model, we're kind of a team, but we're still going to tell you everything you need to do. Now, when we work with students, we're an annual service, so we're with you from whenever you begin with us until a year's time later. For 95% of our students, they go, Zev, thank you so much. I know how to take it from here, and I'm going to go get myself recruited, and they don't need my help. For about 3 to 5%, they say, hey, Zev, what if we have another question for you, and we just want to ask you 1 or 2 things, or we need 1 video edited? Then it's a custom plan. It can be anywhere from $20 to $50. It just depends on what it is you need based off the situation at hand. Now, if you say to me, hey, Zev, these are not in our budget, like well, this is not even close, we do have this model. This model is where you get the AI system. We don't edit any videos. You don't get any Zoom meetings, but you can message our coaches in training. These are former students of mine who want to help as much as they can. They're going to become a coach for me one day, but they're not yet. And you still get the email system. You still get the list of schools, and you still get the ID camp and etc. And this is kind of the other model. If you say to me, hey, Zev, these still don't work, or is there anything else we can do? I cannot give a guarantee, and one of the things that I do is when you're working with me, if in the first 3 months of us getting started, you're not being genuinely recruited, I refund you. 98% of our students have received a minimum of 60, upwards of 300,000. Many people think the money's in Division 1, but it's not. It is in Division 3. This student got 300,000 from Division 3. This student who also got 100,000 is from Division 3. And you'll get this email so you can message these families and talk to them. And here's the Duke student as well, so you can talk to them if you need to. The reason I say all of this is to tell you that at the end of the day, scholarship matters because everybody wants money, but it also tells us how much the coach loves you. And I want to create a plan that works for you. So one of the things we'll talk about is which plan is best for you. And I'm going to ask you on our call, I'm going to say, did you see our video? And hopefully you'll go, yes, I did. And you'll say, and I'm going to ask you, of the 3 models, 199, the 999, and the 4997, which one are you thinking about the most? Just so I can answer those questions directly and we can make the most of our time. Thank you so much for listening. I'm super excited to work with you and talk to you, and we'll talk soon.